Disclaimer. This is my personal favorite top 10 videos for the Nintendo 64. It's based on opinion, fun factor, nostalgia, sentimental value, etc., etc. And so, for a game you like that say you think is better than what I have on there, that's fine. If you have a whole list that's completely different, that's fine too. Make your own video, post a comment of what your favorites are. Just don't give me shit. Oh, that game sucks. It shouldn't be on there. It's my opinion. So, yeah, that's all. Hope you enjoy the video. Number 10. At number 10 on my countdown list is Hot Wheels Turbo Racing. I believe that's the name. Let me check. That is it indeed. I just always called it the Hot Wheels game. But anyway, Hot Wheels made my list because I just had so much fun with it when I was little. If you've ever played the game, I think you'd understand why. It's just cool. You choose from different Hot Wheels cars that were real Hot Wheels at the time, which was especially cool. And you unlock more of them. You go to these wild tracks like, loop-de-loop, speed things, jumps, tornadoes. It's a crazy racing game. And I think it has little power-ups too. Uh, it's been a while since I played it, so I can't exactly remember, but it's just super fun. I used to play it with my dad all the time. We'd write down the code so we could continue with our earned cars, It's just, that one's a big sentimental one, basically. But it made number 10. It's very fun. You should try it out. Hot Wheels Turbo Racing, yeah, that's what it's called. I forgot. Very good. Moving on. Okay. Number 9. At my number 9 spot is yet another racing game called Cruisin' USA. It used to be an arcade game, actually. I'm pretty sure it's one you actually sat and, shifted the gears and drove with the wheel and pressed the gas pedal. One of those good old classic arcade drivers. But they ported it to the N64, and it's just as fun on that. You go through, you unlock all the different cars. It's got everything from like a Camaro to a school bus. I'm pretty sure anyway. It's been even longer since I've played it than Hot Wheels. So I'm kind of shady about it, but it doesn't matter because it's super fun, really good arcade driver. Generic racer, really. But it's just fun, You got to play it to really understand my bad explanations for any of these. So that's about all I can say about this one. Moving on to the next one. Yeah. Number 8. The number 8 spot on my countdown goes to Star Fox 64. Or I think it's also known as the Lilac Wars, which is a place in the Star Fox game. So I think that might be the name of the system, the Lilacs. What I don't entirely know, but I'm a big fan of Star Fox. I love his games. My first game playing for him was Star Fox 64, and I'm pretty sure I've played all the others since then. Star Fox Assault, the original one, I've played, I think, except for the one on the DS. I didn't play that, but Star Fox, if you don't know what it is, shame on you. But you play as a fox, the Star Fox, and you fly around in this technologically advanced ship called the R-Wing. It's not really a ship, it's just a flying plane, jet thingy. It's hard to explain. And you do barrel rolls and you shoot things and you kill a monkey head. It's just wild and awesome. It's a very fun game. The story's actually pretty good too. When you get down to it, the game's kind of simple, but the story's real good for a game like that. It really is. I don't know how, but it works pretty well. There's all kinds of, deceit and, treason. It's just wild. But Star Fox 64, very good. I'd recommend it. People would say it's the best Star Fox game. I like Assault a little bit better, just because it's got a bit of everything thrown into it. But, I gotta say 64 is probably right behind that. Number 7. At number 7 is one of my favorite N64 games. Well, no shit, this is a top 10 favorite countdown. But anyway, it's Kirby 64. And this is, I would think, my second favorite Kirby game, right under Kirby's Dream Land 3, just because you can mix powers together. What I mean is, you can get the power of one guy, in old, classic Kirby fashion, lift it above your head by pressing up on the C buttons, the C up button. Yeah, the N64 controller was weird. And he would hold it above his head and it looked like a multicolored star. And you'd throw it into another enemy, suck that power up, boom, you got a new power. So there's pretty much double, maybe triple, the amount of powers that there would normally be with just one enemy at a time. My personal favorites was the, if you mixed Blade with Electric, you got a Darth Maul Blade, which is awesome. And then if you mix Fire with Blade, you got a huge, Buster Sword looking flame sword, which was very cool. But, a bunch of cool powers, a neat little story, awesome bosses. The bosses were pretty cool. The final boss, once you get all this stuff and fight the real final boss, is very he's very creepy. Kind of challenging, but just a real fun game. A lot of stuff to collect. I'm pretty sure there's mini games in it. You get to play as King Dedede, and he's probably my favorite Kirby character. So yeah. But Kirby 64, it's awesome. Go play it. Moving on. Number 6. Here's a big one. At number 6, believe it or not for me, is The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. And I would put Majora's Mask on here too, but I'm trying to keep it down to one franchise, which I completely fail at later down on the list. But for Zelda, it was easy. Ocarina of Time, for me at least, beats out Majora's Mask. But, Ocarina of Time, it's at the number 6 spot because I didn't play it all that much when I was little. I might have played it twice when I was growing up, and that was, I didn't even own it, It was at my cousin's house. He had it, and I just didn't have enough time with it for it to be higher on the list, but I do love it. It's probably the best Zelda there is, which is why I'm excited that they're re-releasing a newer kind of version, updated a little for the 3DS. It's going to be very good, I suspect. If they didn't change anything but the graphics, it's going to be very good. So, yeah, and put the map on the bottom. But, the staple in the Zelda series, Ganon steals the princess, you travel through time, the Master Sword, Boomerang, all kinds of weapons, Gorons. It's just wild, crazy stuff. Bosses, upgrades, heart pieces, good stuff. Music, the music's so good in the game. Yeah, even just the little tunes you play on the ocarina, it's just so good. But, all kinds of side missions, all kinds of stuff to collect, very epic. The story's awesome. Dark Link, very creepy. Just an overall really, really good game. So, that's Zelda. Moving on. Please don't hurt me in the comments for it being so low. Yeah. Number 5. Alright, at number 5 in my countdown is Paper Mario. Paper Mario, back when it first came out, really took the series in quite a direction, similar to like Mario RPG did. Because this was an RPG, but the graphics, that was drastic. I mean, like... and the commercial was so fucking weird. The commercial was like a goat eating paper, and then it showed, gameplay, and then it went back to the goat. And it's just a wild-ass commercial. I don't know what it's supposed to mean, but I guess because goats eat paper. I don't know. But anyway, Paper Mario, good RPG, very solid. You get partner characters, all kinds of different attacks, power-ups. You upgrade your character as you level up, This is a very funny game, very well written. The story's pretty good too, even though it's the same old dance, Bowser steals the princess, but in this game, he got the Kirby Star Rod somehow. He somehow ripped the portal in the dimensions and went to Dreamland and stole the Star Rod, which grants all wishes, and so he's like super powerful, and you gotta do stuff and get the 7 stars like in every Mario RPG game. Just very good, and it's kind of cool in Mario games to actually get to explore the Mushroom Kingdom. So those games are especially fun for me. Like the Paper Mario one there, Mario and Luigi, it's just kind of cool because usually you just go through levels, showing your shit. But moving on, very good boss battles, very good music, very funny. Just a really good game overall. The graphics are good, actually, because they're so different. There's no way they can be bad. Whereas realistic games, their graphics kind of die over time. Mortal Kombat used to be the most realistic looking game. Look what happened to it. I mean, they took real people and just digitized them, but now it looks completely shit. So I like games like Wind Waker with graphics like that because that'll always look good. That's off subject though. Paper Mario, very awesome. You should play it. Uh, I don't have nothing else to say. I'm bad at explanations. Keep that in mind as we move on. Number 4. Moving on to number 4 is Donkey Kong 64. That seems to be a trend for these games, having 64 at the end. But Donkey Kong 64, longtime Donkey Kong fan here. I love Donkey Kong Country, so this one came out. I'm like, whoa! Get to play Donkey Kong, and Lanky Kong, and Tiny Kong, and fucking Diddy Kong, and Chunky Kong. So many Kongs! Each with a different power. My favorite was Lanky, because he could walk on his hands, and he's a big goofball. But it's always cool. Switch between them, take on the different missions, all kinds of levels, awesome music. Explore the Donkey Kong Island, which is very cool. Try to get his bananas back, the staple story in the series, like Mario and the Princess. Uh, King K. Rool, and his big battle tank croc thing, and Klungo. It's a very good game. And they introduced weapons for the Kongs, like Donkey Kong had a coconut cannon, coconut bazooka. Diddy had the peanut pop guns. Lanky had the pea shooter that shot grapes, and you had to get ammo for them. And they had or orange grenades. They had these huge special attacks where they played an instrument either so good or so bad. I don't know which really. I couldn't tell. That it just explodes all the enemies around you. It completely wipes them off the face of the earth in that instant. Diddy plays a guitar, though, which is pretty badass. But moving on. Very fun game. To get to explore and do the levels, do the epic boss battles, ride Rambi, and... no, you don't actually ride Rambi in this game. You become him. Rambi the Rhino. And Escargot, was that his name? It's something like that. The swordfish, yeah. You hit him with Lanky Kong for some reason. But just, I don't know how to explain it. As I've said many times in many of these, I'm not good at explanations. You just gotta play it. It's really fun, though. Yeah, that's all I got. Moving on. Number 3. At the number 3 spot on my list is Banjo-Kazooie. Banjo-Kazooie was one of the 64 games, to put it simply, that kind of borrowed from Mario 64. You play as a bear in yellow shorts with a tooth necklace, wearing a blue backpack that has a bird named Kazooie in it. And it's a very cool game. The story's okay. I mean, it's not stealing the princess. It's trying to save, or saving the princess. It's trying to save his sister. I think her name's Tootie. And it's got a colorful cast of characters, a lot of things to collect. Oh my god, the stuff you have to collect in this game. Puzzle pieces, musical notes, jingos, just wild collectibles. It's very funny, as the games from Rare always are. Rare, Conquer, all that jazz. Uh, a lot of power-ups to upgrade to. Very good music, pretty cool little worlds. You jumped into a painting to go to a new world. Yeah, where have you heard of that before? But anyway, it worked. It's still very different from Mario because you get all these powers. Like one of the first ones you get is you can use Kazooie to run for you, which makes you super fast and able to go up steep hills, which is really separates it from the rest. Very on the line humor. You can tell Rare was being a little dirty sometimes. Like I think one said, "Did you find your nuts yet, Bart Breath?" Like talking to a tree. Very borderline. Rare's always like that though, which I appreciate. It's always good. A little humor like that, a little grown-up humor. I don't know what else to say about the game. You could shoot eggs out of Kazooie like it was a machine gun. Shoot egg grenades out of its ass. I mean, just all kinds of crazy stuff. And my man Mumbo Jumbo, who's just awesome. What's he say? Ekum Bookum? Something like that? He's just awesome. He's like a little mage, a little wizard in that world. He has a skull for a head and a purple body. Um, but he does magic, transforms you into different things to take on different tasks. The first thing is like an ant, so you can climb stuff real well. But just, I love the game. It's very good. That's why it's at the number 3 spot. Moving on to the other numbers. Okay. Number 2. At the number 2 spot is the game that breaks my rule of having only one game from a certain franchise, is Mario 64. See, because there's that and there's Paper Mario. But I really couldn't choose between them. I really couldn't. I tried. But they're just both so awesome, you know. Mario 64 is the game that made me completely fall in love with the Nintendo 64. It's the first game I played for it. It's like, oh my god, it's so 3D! And you just Mario, and you went to these worlds and heard all the awesome music and jumped around and did flips and killed shit and took on Bowser and swung him. And you rode on shells on lava, which I wish they would bring back because that was so hardcore. But, you know, had races with turtles that were abnormally fast, shoot out of cannons, grab stars, save the princess, and never get the cake. It's just, that's really all I can say about it. It's funny that it's so high up on the list, but I know almost everyone's played it. Unless they were born not too long ago anyway, you know. I can't do it any more justice than it's done itself. It's a very good game. It really is. And it's got secrets, you know, there's the slide world, you go into the clock world at different times, different shit happens, Yoshi at the top that gives you 20 lives. It's just wild. And the coolest thing are the infinite stairs. I would not want to progress the game because I thought those stairs were so badass. You just keep running up them and they don't ever end. It's spooky as hell. Just a little. It's spooky. Just a little bit. And there's the big world, the small world. It's just huge variety. You know, all kinds of different gameplay. Metal Mario, you know, introduced power-ups like that. Well, it didn't introduce them, but it gave us the hat power-ups. Flying wing hat, metal hat. I want to say they had an invisible hat, but I can't exactly remember. Yeah, they did. They had an invisible hat. But very awesome. You gotta love it. Moving on to the big numero uno. Number 1. Number 1 on this list may surprise you. It's Super Smash Brothers. Oh yeah. This game, I've always been a fighting game fan, right? So when a game comes out that lets me pit my favorite Nintendo characters against each other to a battle of undeniable flying off-screen death, I was all for it. And the commercial didn't help me stay away from it at all. They were just going through a meadow of flowers, these Nintendo characters, and they just start beating the shit out of each other. It's the funniest fucking commercial. It's so funny. I mean, it had 8 characters, the first one did, which is very little, but just enough to where you keep playing it. You got Mario, Luigi, Link, Kirby, Pikachu, Ness, Captain Falcon, and Samus. I'm pretty sure. Oh, and Jigglypuff. Yeah, there we go. That's all 8, I'm pretty sure, unless I miscounted. Always played as Mario. I've played as him in all 3 of them. I'm the best with him, so you can't argue with that. Just a very fun game. You got different moves. It's a simple, yet in-depth kind of a fighter. You got all these items like Pokeballs and Home Run Bats. Items that borrow from the games what the characters are from, which is very cool. And so did the levels. You got a Hyrule Temple. You got the Mario 64 level, the Donkey Kong Jungle level. And this is and Star Fox. Yeah, there we go. Star Fox. He was one of the characters. Can't believe I forgot him. You know, and this game took characters like Ness and Mario, especially Fox and Captain Falcon, 2 people that have only drove in their games, and gave them awesome move sets and blasters. The Falcon Punch, which may be the most well-known super move since the Hadouken, and just it's just very fun. I played it almost every day when I was little. I had a friend. He usually came up and play it too. He was Fox. We were undefeatable. we we just super fun. So many hours I put into this game. I don't really know what else to say about it. It's super awesome. It's really the only way I can put it. It had all the different modes. You know, you got one player where you fought all kinds of different challenges, like Big Donkey Kong, Metal Mario, fucking the Polygon Team. You had a race. You had a target blaster thing, and then you fought the Master Hand, which is a giant glove, which was unusually challenging back then. And you actually take down his health instead of building it up, which was different for that game, because that's how you hit. You know, that's how you play. You bring up their damage and throw them off screen. But you could play the mini games separate, like Finish the Race and Polygon Fighter. Maybe not that, and Target Mode. Break the Targets, that's what it's called. The credits let you shoot the credits for points, and people always said if you get all the credits, something happens, nothing happens. They were like, oh, you get fucking Mewtwo and Sonic the Hedgehog if you hit all the credits 80 times each. No, that's ridiculous. But what else did it have? A little profile viewer, which eventually turned into the trophies in the later games. One for each character, giving you a little background info on them. That's all I can say about it. It's just an awesome game. It's my number one. I spent so much time playing it. Super fun, super awesome. Yeah, Smash Brothers. Congratulations. Got my number one spot. See you in the next video.